welcome. This is Dimbal Africa. Of course, it's a Monday, and of course, it's 10 p.m. East African time. Of course, you know that every Mondays we have the Dimbal Africa sports show that happens here every day. I have my good friends who will be joining the show, the likes of Benjamin Kilong and also Alex, and also Wesley Ngetich will be joining this wonderful show as we discuss more about sports in the country and also abroad. You know that when it comes to the abroad leagues, then we have the English Premier League where we have the top clubs there, the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and also Manchester City. We shall be discussing all those, and of course, you know that we are made history in our country, Kenya, East Africa, Nairobi, Kenya today at Serena Hotel. Is the unveiling of the Benedict McCarthy, who is now the head coach of Arastas. Of course, we have a new coach, and of course, he's the former player for Man United, and also he was surfing under Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag is the recently coach who was sacked by the Manchester United, which I'll be discussing all those. And don't forget that Muzalendo will still be joining this show so that he can tell us why Arsenal is flopping back to back to back. We have a new signing. New signing is here, and she will be telling us more about which team does she support, and also where is she joining this beautiful show from. Welcome to Dimbala Freak. Introduce to our followers here and tell us where you're following this show from.
Oh, hi, hello guys. My name is Coaches. I'm live from Seattle. I know it's actually in the morning here, while you guys are going to sleep. And I support Arsenal, and I hear you already have questions in regards to Arsenal. So I look forward to having more of this discussion with you guys.
Yes, welcome, Sana Kotis, in the Dimbal Africa. Of course, this is one family. We shall be having you in our shows every Monday so that you can tell us more about Arsenal and how do you think that it's going to happen at Emirates since you people sold Elmit Smoothrow to Fulham and also sold Geltier to Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
You know that things are still boiling there. But now, setting, I just want us to just have a quote on what happened today. I
Huh?
know you are Kenyan, and also if you are United, I hope you can hear me well.
Yeah, you kind of breaking, but yeah, I hear. Uh huh. Hello.
I mean, I
You're gone.
think we have a new coach in our Rambe Stars team, and of course Kenya we have been performing very poorly when it comes
Football,
to
yeah.
this national team.
Football.
So we have a new coach that is Benedict Ben McCarthy who plays for Manchester United. He was unveiled today, and at the end of the month, he'll be receiving 8 million Kenya shillings. Also, he will be having his own bench. He came with his own assistant coach. Someone will be coaching for goalkeepers. Someone will be coaching for strikers and midfield. What's your take? Do you think that Harambee Stars are going to play for Africa Cup of Nation maybe, or is going to flop the same like other player? What do you think is the main problem affecting Harambee Stars? Yet we have a lot of talent.
Yeah. You know that question you're asking, it would be probably the same question. What is affecting Manu when they have the same kind of players, with the same kind of manager, with the exact with a even much better experience in comparison to this other guy. But for Rambe Stars, I feel like it's something more than just the coaches and the players at this point. It probably needs a revamp, like what Arsenal went through 2 seasons ago. Like rebuild, start the project from scratch. Like the way you said, he came with his own assistant, right? That means he's thinking of creating his own system. he's probably trying to come up with his own project that he thinks will work for him. Because maybe he's done his own studies and he's seen that the previous managers didn't succeed. So he's probably trying a different route. But I think they might do better. I think it looks hopeful. It looks hopeful.
Yes, yes, that is good. Is of course giving our views about Harambee Stars, and we have been having a lot of problems not featuring the Africa Cup of Nations, not play in the international competition. But the first competition will be Kenya play against Gambia, which is one assignment. Of course, Kenyans will be looking forward to see the kind of performance what is going to be cooked when Benedict Ben McCarthy will be the head coach. Of course, he is now the head coach and he was unveiled today, so he will be serving as the head coach of Harambee Stars for
Okay.
the contract that is going to run for 2 years. At the end of the month, he'll be receiving 8 million. Now, I've been following what is happening in the comment section over there, and it's like they are saying, this is what Kenyans are saying. He's not going to perform. He's going to flop like the other coaches. Why? Because the team is made of only Luos and Luyas. So if he's not going to be diverse in getting talents from all over the country, then he's going to flop. See,
What
Kenyans
does
are
the
saying that
tribe have to
Harambee
do with
Stars is made of
succumb?
Luos and Luyas. Did you agree that, Mzalendo, do you agree that Harambee Stars is made of Luos and Luyas? Because that is what Kenyans are saying, that the new coach, if he's not going to change players, then he's going to flop again, and he's going to live like the former coach, Igini Ferrati, and other coaches, despite his experience.
You see, Kenyan football is it's like a game of I wouldn't even say a game of chess. It's like they are gambling with soccer. It is so unpredictable. It is like playing a betting game with the coaches. But if you look back to what happened in Kenyan football a few years back, when Ryan Fabish was appointed the head coach of Harambee Stars, we went back to the grassroots football. We went back to looking at where football talent is, and that is in the Division One league and the smaller leagues. So we came up with a team that reflected the way and style of play in Kenya. What is happening in Kenyan football is one. They don't have a way of play. They don't have a style of play. They don't have anything unique about their football. They are playing like I call coaches, I call a few friends, and then we start playing football. That is like the way we play football in the estate. So that is how what is happening in Kenyan football. And again, for your football to improve, you have to have a very strong league. The Kenyan league, Premier League, is very, very weak. Weak in terms of support, weak in terms of the professional players that it attracts. These are very low caliber of players. You cannot compare it with the South African league. You cannot compare it with the Tanzanian league. The Ugandan league is also very improving. So we need to improve the league so that we have good players playing in our KPL league, and that KPL league becomes a feeder to the national team. So we don't rely so much on the professional players. When you have a strong league, then more scouts will come to your country and more players will be playing professional football. And that is how you improve your football. Look at countries like Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso, a few years back, we were way ahead of them. But today they are way ahead of us just because of the soccer philosophy and the finance that the government has put into the game. So the government needs to come in. The new administration under Hussein, I believe they will do a good job, but they need a lot of support from Kenyans who are soccer lovers to go to the stadiums, love the game, and make sure that the players are paid well, so that the coaches who are coming, who are foreigners, they don't know much about the league, the domestic league. but they expect that the domestic leagues will be attractive also. You cannot be a coach coming to a league, coming to coach a team that barely their fan can fill, can fill a stadium or can fill quarter of the stadium. You can't come and enjoy the game. So football is about fun. Coaches will tell you it is about the fans. If the fans enjoy the game, then the players will also enjoy the game too, and you will get the results because of that. So that is all about Kenyan football. Thank you.
Thank you, Mzalendo. Thank you, Mzalendo, for that wonderful submission. Curtis, do you agree with what Mzalendo said about Kenyan football?
It's actually I agree, and I don't know. So I actually was wondering. I didn't actually know that the football was full of just Luo and Luyas. You know, like the way the comment you just gave us. But I have a question. What does that have to do with the performances if it's full of Luo and Luyas?
Yes, when it comes to the selection, of course, the scout, there's Mzalendo said, I really don't know whether the scout team goes to those other areas of the country, because when you see from the goalkeeper, recently we have Brian Omondi, who is the goalkeeper for the national team Harambee Stars. We have the likes of defenders there, midfield. We only have few players. I think 3 players who come from other parts. But you see, the national team first 11 is dominated by Luo and Luyas. So that is what Kenyans are saying, that we are not equal to playing Harambee Stars. Selection of the team is only made for people from the Lake region. And that's why the team always flop. That is what we have, and that is what is being cooked in the social media after the unveiling of the new coach.
So so basically what this means is that like the team is not winning because lack of diversity, whereby like someone, if it's not diverse enough, I'm not gonna go and support this team, right? Because that could be the case. I don't know, but I hope though. Well, let's wish the new coach the best and see what he has in store. Like the ideas the Mzaleno was telling us, whereby there has to be some kind of inclusive activities to start happening, like scout away from the western part of Kenya, or you know, like go to the coast. Maybe hata kuna mswahili mahali tu anajua kupepeta, lakini hatuka mtampatia chance, unajua. Go to like central, or maybe it depends. Maybe some people they're just not good with soccer at the same time. There's usually soccer is regional, you know, or sports are regional. Like now in America, it's not a big thing. It's not a big deal in America. Their main sport here is the American football, but it's a very developed world. So at the same time, I would agree that it's tribal, but I'm like, no, it's the lack of support, lack of the fan base, lack of that.
Lack of the support, lack of the fan base. That is what you're saying.
Yes.
Alex, you join us. Please, can you put your camera on so that we can have this beautiful conversation as we spearhead this show today? As you give us your comments about Harambee Stars' new coach. What is your take about new Harambee Stars coach, Ben Marco?
I see, Bonnie. I am yet to fix my lighting, so you give me a minute. My lighting is terrible as I fix it. So you tell me where we at.
What's your take about the new coach of Harambee Stars?
You see, Bonnie. So I was following up on that story, and I think the problem with our football system, or even the way in which we are selecting coaches for this country, it's quite it's let me say it's wrong, because we are undergoing a bad culture where the way in which we electing coaches is not a good one. and that's why year in year out we keep on electing bad coaches, and they come and they go, and our football in the national team is still stalling. So I believe we have to break this curse, and it will have to start with the new FKF president that we have. I think he has to implement new policies for 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 electing the coaches who represent the national team. Otherwise, Bonnie just see us going on the sequence we have been in for the past few years. Because even recently we saw we lost to Zimbabwe. Imagine, of all teams. So we have a long way to go, but we have to break this toxic culture that we have in the country if we want to improve on our football. Otherwise, Bonnie, I tell you, we are 10 years to come and we will still be failing to qualify for the AFCON.
So you say you don't have trust with the new head coach, former player for Man United and also former coach for Man United. That is what people they are associating him with. Yes, he was playing in Man United.
Not that I don't have faith in him. I don't trust the system in which is built in the country, which is putting the coaches. The system is the one which is wrong. So if the system is wrong, even if the tactics, the mentality, the policies, and the style of play of the coach won't work. And a good example is a team like Tottenham. You see the coach Ange Postecoglou. If you check his gameplay in Scotland, you'd see he had the right players, and he had also the good backing from the team. So whenever he went out and he played the high line, you'd find it was working out well. Even as much as they were conceding goals up front, they were scoring goals, and that's why he was winning titles. But here at Spurs, he has the right style of play with the right mentality, but with the wrong players. That's why he's failing to capitalize and win trophies for Spurs. So that's what I can say. If Bonnie, even the coach has the right policies and everything, and the system in the team is wrong, it still will not work because the players at Spurs don't have the capacity to keep up with the style of play from the coach. So that's the same thing here with Arambe. No matter even how much we have good coaches, we have to break this system that is there in the country. That is that we keep on losing and losing and losing. So once we break that system and we come up with new policies and implement them, then I believe, Bonnie, then our football can move. Because if we are to evict the terrible football in the country, it has to begin from the roots.
Thank you. Wonderful, 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 Alex. John by Mzee Kilong, karibu sana bwana. Tumepotea sana. Karibu sana Freak 24. Tambia unategea show ukiwa wapi kwanza?
I'm here in Nairobi, Kenya. Always a pleasure to be here. Nimekuwa kitambo, but ninafurahi kuwa hapa.
Asante sana Mzee Kilong. We have Jeff Buru. Jeff, karibu sana.
Habari ya Kimanzi?
Kwa sawa kabisa.
Ya, mi niko hapa tu, nisikie venye mnasema.
Karibu Jeff.
Asante.
Yes. Mzee Kilong, we are discussing about the new coach of Harambee Stars, that is a former player and also former coach for Man United, Ben McCarthy. He was unveiled today at one of the hotels in Kenya. Do you have trust with Ben McCarthy? Is he going to perform or is going to flop like the other coaches that we have been having in the country? What is your take? Is he going to be a perfect man? Because the people are trying to associate him with Man United as a big coach, but still there is a long way to go because this is Kenya. This is a country where the scouting only goes to the Lake regions. It does not spread to all parts of the country.
First of all, when was he a Manchester United coach? Because Manchester United is struggling. So is that a good thing? Manchester United are almost in the relegation battle. Okay.
Worry, man.
No, but I think it's a nice step, but I'll not say anything much because I know the coach is just a piece of the problem that we have here in Kenya because the Kenyan football, as I've always talked about it, started rotting from the head, and that is from the FKF and going downwards because they frustrate coaches, they frustrate players. There's no incentive. The football is really low here in Kenya. So I don't know if the new coach will do anything new. We just have to wait and see. That's my only comment. We can't really judge as of now, but of course we know there was a new management in FKF, so maybe things are gonna change for the better good for the football here in Kenya.
Yes, Mzee Kilong anasema patia time pia. So what is happening in the countries that I've been following what is spreading the social media, and it's like now Kenyans are saying this coach is only going to perform if he's going to have scouts from 47 counties, because mostly they are saying the Harambee Stars, that is national team, is made of only two tribes, the Luos and the Luyas. We don't have Kambas there, we don't have Kikuyus there, we don't have the Muslims there, we don't have we have a lot of tribes in this country. Even the coastal region, we also have the Digo, we also have the Mijikendas included. You go to Tana River, that is what they are saying. So if he's going to have teams being featured, if you have a team in Mombasa, of course, we have Badari there. You go to Wajir, we have teams there. I've been following what is happening in the social media and also some of the WhatsApp groups for the Football Kenya Federation. And they're saying that this coach is only going to perform if only he is going to feature all players in the whole country. But anyway, we wish him all the best because Kenya, we want to test him when we are facing Gambia. And I've seen some of the photos that are being spread on in the country, and he's going to perform. I hope that he is going to be one of the best coaches that we have. But Kenya, yes, Kilong.
A quick question. You're saying that football is only for one region, but it depends. I really don't think it is biased in a way because football is
I
all
told
about
you earlier.
football is all about talent, right? Like even in athletics is filled by the people from Rift Valley region. Is that unfair? So do we really need to get people from the coastal region to run? It depends on who is the fastest. So in football, I guess it's the same way. If you have the skill, doesn't matter if you're all coming from the same region. That wouldn't matter. What matters is, do you know how to play football? Can you perform in international standards? That's what I think should be our benchmark, not really judging and say, oh, it's coming from only one side, because I know the people from Western region, they love football compared to even people from Rift Valley. So it will be really unfair to say that let's diversify and choose from all the regions. I think it just depends on uh, who is best suited to play, regardless of their region.
Mm.
Yes, I agree with you. But at some point, I know we have a lot of players in all the parts of the country because we have competition in every December. I always follow up what is happening, and we have a lot of competitions, tournaments, and they give the best
Boniface.
players out here. So we
Uh-huh.
we wish that he will give us the best performance. That is all what we need. We need to feature in the Africa Cup of Nations like our neighbors Tanzania. They have been doing. That is all what we needed. Anyway, we wish Eugene Ferrati all the best when it comes to this Harambee Stars. Of course, I have seen how Hussein Mohamed, McDonald, and Mariga today, they were happy during the unveiling. So we have Ben McCarthy is the head coach of Harambee Stars. and we have Beldino Demba as the head coach of the Harambee Starlets. That is the women national team. Leaving behind that, we have, of course, that was more about our national team and, of course, Kenyan Premier League on what is happening. But just to ask, Curtis,
Yeah.
we had the Mashemeji Derby that was scheduled to happen over the weekend, but it did not happen because they said that we don't have stadiums. The stadium that we have is Kasarani and the Nyayo Stadium, which are being renovated for hosting the CHAN 2024 and also Africa Cup of Nations. Why do you think that we have to get a stadium? Because the response was we don't have a stadium that can host Mashemeji because the fans are going to fight. We don't have security, and of course, Mashemeji. That is where you see Gor Mahia fans carrying big stones, and the Luya, the FC Leopards, big stones, so that if you win, then we are going to fight head to head. Do you think that Kenyan football is up to that standards? When will we reach to those European countries? Of course, I know you have witnessed some of the European teams.
First of all, they need to get rid of the stones. Hiyo tu ndio shida. They have to go. They like fan base in Kenya actually needs a lot of regrouping or because like this mentality of like if we lose we have to fight, we have to like you attack each other and all that. Like you can literally just banter without having to hurt anyone or without having to inflict any damages to the public property because you're setting the country back. Because every time if all the fans just start throwing stones and you start damaging the property, that's why our stadiums can last, because the maintenance is very low, but the damage is so high. And when it comes to Tanzania and Kenya football needs a lot of rebuild, like Mzalendo said earlier, and like Mzee Kilong, I agree with a lot of the points he was talking about, especially like where he said, I don't think talent has anything to do with the region. If you're good, you're good, you know?
Sure.
And yeah, and if you're not, like, for example, like most of the if you go to this, back to English football, if you go to an academy, you'll find that kids in the academy are from within the same region. Do you think the academies are going to be like, I'm not going to take this child because he's from, all the kids you people bring are from West London. Why can't you bring from Islington or from elsewhere? Like, so it's really different. I don't think anyone can take their child from Mombasa or later Nairobi to an academy and then the academy owner is like, if you're not a Luya or a Luo, I don't want you. No, it's all about they test you. The scouts, they go and see how good you are and then they develop. At the same time, I feel like maybe it's because of how soccer was exposed more to the Lake region way back compared to other places. That's why it took root there. Like, so I feel like it's because of how it was kitu mtu umezoea, like ukimbia in Rift Valley. You don't expect someone from Mombasa akue like the best runner na hajakuwa exposed to that kind of life. So ni kuzoea, like it's what you've been introduced to. So I think with time, soccer in Kenya, it has spread to time. With time, it will spread with time, and then it will be a thing. But for now, it's still rooted there, and we should just support where it's at and help and pray that it grows and pray that this new coach brings new changes that are better. Ndio timu nayotaja watu wa Tanzania mashemeji. Why?
Yes. We have Alex. What do you have to say about Mashemeji Derby being postponed? It was to happen over the weekend, but we did not have it.
Safety.
The response from the FKF is that there is no stadium that can host those fans. They are fearing that they might fight, that they might even, if they host fans in the Nyayo Stadium, that they might vandalize anything that has been constructed over there. They wanted to take that Mashemeji to Tanzania, which is a big shame, Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. What if they go and fight over there?
Thank you for this opportunity. I believe I believe Jeff had something to say, so I will keep it short so that Jeff can also say something. Let me go back a bit to the previous question where you asked about the tribalness in our sports in the country. So I do agree with you, Kelong, when you say we can't dispute the fact that people from the Rift have been running for years and years, and they have put this country on the map in terms of athletics. True or true? I think that one we all agree. But I think there's one thing which many people on this panelist miss. Speaking as somebody who has been playing football for many years and has done trials, there's this thing from the, let me call them the, I don't know if I should say the elite or the ones who are controlling the football in Kenya, whereby they believe people from certain regions are good in certain sports. And I will give an example. We have Helen Obiri. Helen Obiri is from Kisii. She has been running. She has clinched gold many times in the country. And if anyone here doesn't know that, you don't know sports. We can also see that there is Wanyonyi who clinched
Yeah,
a
I know
medal. I don't know
Wanyama.
whether it's gold in the previous
Mhm. Yeah.
Olympics. And we have also seen I think it's Wavinya who ran for a different country because
Mhm.
she claimed that she wasn't given an opportunity to run for Kenya. So the thing is this: the people who are selecting the ones going to run, whenever they see somebody like let's say Wavinya, wanasema umto ukambani hawezi kimbia. Unaona? So, but when they
Guy.
see somebody who is a Kalenjin, they say, "Bas, this is the guy." So, and then in that process of kunyima Wavinya a chance, Wavinya went and ran outside and clinched gold. So, that shows us that as much as people from the Rift are good at running, even that coast, which Cotis you are saying, cost can bring
Mm.
about good runners who can put this country on the map. So the problem is
Mm-hmm.
not even the athletes or whatsoever. It's that
No,
the people who are controlling
just
this speak along.
Alex, sorry, just to interject about
Yeah.
running. Yep, I know. Especially the case for Wavinya, because I followed up how she won, especially at the Olympics. So she said that competition is stiff in here in Kenya. So it's not that she was disqualified
Alinyimwa.
because
Mm.
it was because the competition was stiff. There are a lot of Kenyans who know how to run, especially the long distance races. So it's not because of her tribal affiliation. It's because when she was coming to the trials, alikuwa na clinch number 5, number 6, because there were other better runners. So akaona the only way to survive is for me to go to another country where they don't have runners and try my best. Akaenda pale akajikakamua, went to the Olympics and won a medal. So there's also that aspect where uh, there's tough competition or stiff competition. Yeah, okay,
I
sorry to
do agree
interject.
that along. Also, I also saw another interview where she complained about uh, the people who are selecting the runners not
Mhm.
considering her as an option because they saw Akamba cannot run for this country. But anyway, so
Both points,
uh,
like, guys, I think both points are still correct.
Oh yeah, sure. True,
Like,
true.
it's just two different POVs, but they're both correct. Like, there was no chance, and like you said, elites on Atumia Regional. But what I meant by my point earlier, Ni, like a child in the in Mombasa and a child in the Lake region. I was talking about exposure. You understand? Like,
Sure. Mhm.
yeah, in exposure, in that, like somebody who's mtu amezoea kucheza futa kila saa, and then someone who just only plays soccer when they go to school or when they go meet their friends. That two, the one who plays all the time will develop faster compared to someone who just plays on like once a while. So I meant like maybe the reason why people in the leg get selected more is because they probably got exposed more. They do a lot more practices compared. Like I wanna, they don't like the people in the course don't have the amount of what do you call, like, chances. Like I feel like they're not given enough chances as the other kids in the other regions get or other players get. So maybe that's why. It's just my take though. I don't know.
again, I think Cotis, you miss a mark. Do you know a football team that's called Bandari? Cotis. Do you know
from
Bandari Football
from
Club?
Mombasa.
Yeah.
I've seen a bit of it, not much.
I think you need to go and see how Bandari is performing in the league. Go and watch some few games, and you see whether you see the exposure that you're talking about, and you also get to see the experience, and then you can compare the two. But anyway, that's a story for another time. So going back to football, I think Kelong and Bon, you guys have played football. Ukiingia zile ball za mtaani zile za inaitwaje selection. Speaking as somebody who has been to some, unafika huko, you train, you do well, but again, you find the coach asks you, what's your name, Alex Ogega? Ogega, from which part of the Luo? I say, I'm not from Luo, I'm from Kisi. Ah, they say, our Kisi, our tree ball. You see, and that's how you find yourself missing out opportunity.
Being
You find somebody,
disqualified, yeah.
yeah, somebody
No,
is called what, Omondi or Duor, they get the
that's sad.
opportunity.
That's
So,
sad.
but speaking as somebody who has played football many areas, me I can gladly tell you guys, even if you move to Samburu, go and see those guys playing football. I can assure there's so much
They're
talent here
good.
in Kenya, from the
Hmm.
hood to many regions. Even if we visit Turkana today, there's a lot of football, but I think the scouting is not done well. Na pia hiyo yenye nimewaambia
Yeah.
kitu ni kweli. You might find Kelong can go and play today and plays well. Then they ask you, Kelong, you're from where? They find Kelong, you're not from Western or Nyanza. Unaambiwa Kelong, weka kando.
Unanyimwa.
So, and
Uh-huh.
I've seen many people from the mountain missing out on opportunities because they don't think people from the mountain can play football. Hawa wanajua ni
That,
watu wa biashara.
that's
And I
terrible.
think that's tokenism in the country. And
So
that's why I'm saying
tribal.
we have to break those cultures. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good
Mzee
point.
Kilongo, kuna kitu nataka kuongezea hapo?
I think also Alex has raised an important point. Yeah, the biasness because of the region could also matter. But this day and age, it's sad to hear that still we are following up things like football. Football is a skill that you see. Don't have.
Yeah.
I don't care about your name. I don't care. I don't even need to know your name. I just see how you're playing, and if you're impressive, then you should at least
Be given
be
an
accepted.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or be given an opportunity. Yeah. So that's what I think about this issue. And also regarding the Mashamenji Derby, I was really sad because I'm a huge Gor Mahia fan, and it was here in Kasarani. I was saying this day I have to go, but now it's sad because there was no, even the communication was poor in such that we really later knew that the game has been postponed because of lack of infrastructure. So I think earlier football has been the Mashemeji Derby has been a bit uh, riotous, I would say, because of hooliganism and
Mm-hmm.
such kind of things. But I think now we should graduate from that and just to be passionate about our clubs, do banter, of course, that's football,
Yeah.
but really don't harm each other and don't destroy property. I think that's where we need to go as a country, so that huge derbies like Mashemeji should not be postponed or taken out of the city because they fear that it will cause chaos. That shouldn't happen in this day and age.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Mashemeji Derby. We are hoping that we shall see Mashemeji Derby soon because it's one of the tough sport and of course a competition that you will witness in the country. Gor Mahia against FC Leopards. Those are big rivals. It's like a Man United play against Chelsea. They have to produce performance. Either your team is down or you are just struggling. You have to produce best performance for your fans. Now, crossing the border, we are having the title race for the Premier League, whereby Liverpool they are on the top of the league with 13 points. Of course, Arsenal they are still struggling on catching up. Yet this was the season when Man City down played their game. Now this was the season that Arsenal they could clinch this title. Now the Arteta, with all this experience, now allowed a new coach into the Premier League, that is Arne Slot, to just pave away. Now it's like we are saying we have few matches. Now we are on game number 28. We have few matches to the end of the
12.
season. Now It's like Arne Slot is going to clinch the first Premier League on his first season at Liverpool, though he found a very good team over there. Now, Curtis, what is your take? What is your take about the Liverpool shining and of course the Arne Slot side giving one of the
Oh
best
God.
performance in the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, also despite the exit in the FA?
Damn. The league. My take. Which one? On Arsenal or on this coach, the new coach?
Yeah, on the Liverpool shining in the Premier League.
First of all, I want to say it's probably like the best season that Mohamed Salah has had so far of all the seasons I've watched him play at Liverpool. And I would say that he really actually deserves it. I'm an Arsenal fan, sorry. Like I'm an Arsenal fan, but disclaimer, I think this guy deserves it because, like you said, he came into the team and he really found a very good team already. And as you can see so far, if you look at all the 20 teams in the league, Liverpool is the only one that actually is not experiencing the injury woes or the injury crisis. It's like it's probably the only team that has all their players available. That, however, is not an excuse for Arteta and his board not to have like like I don't know. Let me try and be non-biased when giving this because but like I said, I feel like Arne Slot, he really deserves that. His tactics are like really good. And he's been able to bring the best out of Mohamed Salah so far. And as you can see, this guy, he's either scoring, assisting every match. And you're like, damn, what did you eat over the holidays? Like, and he even broke his cast because I don't know, there's this time he posted on Christmas Day and all the fans went crazy. Like, why is he's jinxing us? He's jinxing us. But as you can see, he's been doing really well. And when it comes to Arsenal, however, first of all, yeah, there goes the injury list, like you said. Secondly, the board is letting down Arteta. Some fans would be like, Arteta can't do it. Some fans are like, it's the board. I say Arteta and the board together, they've done bad for Arsenal this season. They should have gone out in the January window and get someone at least. Now that Kai Havertz's not here, we hated him at some point. All the Arsenal fans, when he performs, we like him. When he doesn't, Kai out. And now that he's out completely, we're even more doomed. 13 points. How do you even get to 13? Like, how do you even close that gap? Honestly, even if Liverpool loses their next 4 matches, we still can't get to them. Because it's not even guaranteed Arsenal will win their next matches. We don't have any forward at all. The entire forward is dead. We just have like Trossard and Nwaneri. But everybody else, like, so that's why, like, I feel like Arsenal sung their season because they just don't have squad depth like Liverpool does. So the competition is not level. The playing field is not level. Like, so Arsenal doesn't stand a chance against Arne Slot. They deserve it. I hope they win it. As long as it's not Man City, Man U, or Chelsea, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Who do you think should be brought in the Arsenal squad so that you can score goals? Now you're depending on
Forward,
the
a
Kai
prolific
Havertz.
striker.
Like who?
Somebody. Oh, you asking who? I was personally, I was hoping for somebody like, oh, sorry, my phone fell. A striker. I was hoping for William Nico because as I was hoping they would get that guy. He's young and he can come and grow under Arteta. And
William Nico.
yes,
Nico William is not a number 9.
he's not number
He's
9, but he's a good forward. Like if you
okay.
remember watching oh, you asking about a number 9?
No. Continue. You know, you are defending your team. You are Arsenal fan, so defend your team. Tell us what needs to be done over there.
It's not just with number 9 only that we're lacking. We don't have everybody. The whole forward teams need at least the revamp. Karibu tu kila mtu tauza except from Saka. And everybody everybody else should be sold except from Saka and Nwaneri. But like I say, like I was hoping like they would do this name. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's from Spain, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. It starts with a V. VL something. Let me see. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Because y'all look at the transfer windows, right?
Playing for which team?
That's the thing I'm trying to check. Let me see. Anyway, I can't remember, but let somebody else comment while I research on that, okay?
Okay. Alex, unafikiri, do you think that Liverpool, they are going to clinch this title for the first time? First coach, first title.
They will.
First of all, Bonnie, I think ever since I started watching football, I think this is the worst Premier League season ever I've ever watched, because I think
no
Liverpool have it easy. They have the easiest way to win this title. Because if I check at team like Chelsea, Chelsea started off very well. Then along the way, they ran out of fuel, so Chelsea got burnt out. Man City, this was the season which was supposed to catch up with them, because I believe they have been getting lucky and luckier. So this season, the reality caught up with them, and so Arsenal, as always, they always come close. They always come close, and I like to compare Arsenal to my betting career. You see Boni, my betting career inajipatanga Boni, nimeweka 10 bob alafu tena nataka kushinda kitu kama 100,000 kwa muhindi. I don't know whether Kelong you can relate. Umeweka 10 bob alafu hapo umeweka odds kubwa nataka kushinda 100,000. So sincerely speaking, haiwezi. So I believe Arsenal have invested less money and they want to win more. So right now they have gotten some few injuries. They are lacking players in positions. That's why they have to go and get players from the academy like Luis Kelly, Nwaneri, and the likes. So I believe for Arsenal to be able to reach to be able to compete for titles, they have to invest more money, because they have been singing for a striker for the past 3 seasons, and they're yet to get a number 9. Havertz is not a 9. Jesus is washed up. So, and they have been very good number 9s in the market who are very cheap. I don't know whether anyone knows of the Borussia Dortmund striker Seru Girassi. Kelong, you know Girassi?
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah.
Yes, imagine
he only had
so there's a BVB striker called Seru Girassi. He had a release clause of 17 million. Only top class striker, top scorer in the Champions League with 10 goals, and he's also part of the top scorer list for the Bundesliga. Imagine, he only had 17 million. No team went for him, not Arsenal, not Chelsea, and both teams are struggling for a number 9. Imagine number 9 on a low budget who can score a lot of goals. Arsenal, okay, it's good they broke the bank for Declan Rice, but they also need to add more players. There's also a prolific striker who plays for, I think it's Sporting Lisbon, Victor Gyökeres. Yes,
yeah, that one.
A good striker. So yes, so I believe Arsenal should just go and break the bank for him if they don't want to get Girassi. And I believe still the midfield is getting a bit washed up. They have people like Party Miaka nayo imeanza kuenda. Same for guys like Jorginho. So I believe they have to strengthen again. There is Zubimendi in the market. Put 50 million, go and get Zubimendi.
Yeah,
There's
but
also
remember, Arsenal have
Zubimendi and Partey, are
prolific
they not
forward. Raheem Sterling is one of the best.
Wow. We're doing that now. Okay.
So for me, Bonnie, I don't see Arsenal having problems with defense or the keeper. So I believe they have to strengthen the midfield and attacking. You see, somebody like Jorginho is not an option right now. Jorginho is washed up, and as much as Partey is doing well, we know
He's way better than Sterling, though.
yeah. we know we know his history with the injuries, and for guy like Jorginho nayo his time yake imeisha. So I believe Arsenal has to strengthen with two more midfielders, and for that wing for where Martinelli and Trossard are playing, I do believe they need a prolific winger, like a winger who can chip in with goals, assists, and creating chances. Because I believe those two wingers which they have, they at the moment they are not performing to what is expected. And I believe Arsenal they just need to add more depth. So that's why I said they're investing less and they're expecting more. So I believe if they put in more funds, then they will be putting themselves in positions to win trophies. So we can sit here and complain Man City spent almost, let's say, 600 to 700 million, but look at the titles they have won. They have won titles year in, year out. So and Arsenal have the capability, so they just need to strengthen the depth. And for Liverpool, I think this is the easiest season for any team. I still believe even if Nottingham Forest was good enough, they could have even gone with this title. If they just kept it a little bit consistent, I believe they could have clinched this title. And we have an underdog getting the title. So I hope next season will be better. But the question I have for the panelists here: do we think Mohamed Salah is fit for the Ballon d'Or?
Yes.
Yep, I think so as well. But you're
Yes.
calling Nottingham Forest an underdog, and they have 2 Champions League. No, they're not an underdog.
They have been underdogs for years, so I believe they're coming back to their best. Zile siku za
Yeah,
90s zimepita.
yeah, but at least they have a
I have a
Champions League
question for
compared
the
to
panel too.
Arsenal. Yeah,
Do you guys think there is a new Big Six list?
not really. Uh,
Uh-huh.
okay, there's spot that has been taken out because Manchester United is not a big six, but in terms of how they play football, then that is the new list. But in terms of their financial capabilities, then the big six just stays the same, because in as much as Manchester United is languishing in bottom 15.
Inaitwa 15 Pro Max. 15
Yeah,
Pro
they still
Max.
have they still have the financial muscles compared to the other team. So big six in terms of financial power, yeah, but in terms of football quality, then I'd say
What's your new Big Six according to you?
okay.
In play, in terms of play, don't look at the bank.
Okay, I'd put what team? Nottingham Forest just came recently, so I'd put Newcastle and Aston Villa to replace Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspurs, because Tottenham Hotspurs as well are struggling. Yeah.
Bonnie, what's your new Big Six if you were to be asked that question?
Personally, I will go for Nottingham Forest, the Nuno Esperanto, because he has been doing a good job over there. And I will not forget to mention Unai Emery, that is Aston Villa. The kind of performance that they give, then you know that he is a big coach. He went to Spain, he clinched titles over there. So Nottingham Forest and also Aston Villa, they are in my top list there for the top six. Of course, we have forgotten Man United and Spurs. These also are struggling teams over there. Of course, we are going to add Arsenal there, because we can see that Arsenal still they are struggling. They are going to drop up to bottom 5. We don't mind if they go up to there.
Okay. What team do you support again?
In Kenya, I support Kariobangi Sharks. In UK, I support Swansea City. In the Spanish La Liga, I support Real Valladolid.
Swansea City. Uliona tu wacha tu sikuwe na stress sawa. Well, they're not even in the league.
No, Body is lying. He's a Chelsea fan.
No, I'm
He's a
lying.
Chelsea fan.
Anajificha hataki ku.
I support Real Valladolid in the Spanish La Liga. You go to Premier League Swansea. You go to Italian Serie A. I support
Kwanza
Bologna.
labda hata Swansea iko division ka 4 hapo.
By the way, I love Swansea. How wanaitwa?
Warudi Swansea ni Sunderland.
I love Swansea, by the way. That is my favorite team.
I
So,
wish.
and that is where.
Hatuna Chelsea. Usiko naogopa.
No. Who said that
Don't
I
be
support
ashamed of our
Chelsea?
team. Don't be ashamed of our team, Mr. Body.
So I'm saying, so I'm trying to say, I was giving my options for the top 6. So I was giving that Liverpool, they have dominated the league since 2015.
So Liverpool, Nottingham.
So Liverpool, they are still there. They don't change. We have Man City, of course, they have been there for a long time. But there's some fluctuation when it comes to number 3, number 4. Spurs, they are a bit shaky. So I will add Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa there. They are doing a good job over there still. But we have been having Newcastle, Eddie Rowe's side, they have been performing when it comes to
Unaona
the
kitu
Premier League, but,
amefanya nyinyi.
I'm explaining myself.
Okay, I see.
Now, when it comes to Nottingham, that is Newcastle United. I like the kind of play they give. When it comes to defensive, when it comes to attacking, they have one of the best attackers over there recently, the like of Alexander Isak and also Adon Gordon. They have one of the best midfielders. Oh, actually, I love one of the midfielders who come from Brazil. That is Bruno Guimarães. He is very strong, brave, and courageous, and he's very rude. Yeah. He can even slap a defender. So I always love that because I like a player who is very arrogant. Because in football, if you're not arrogant, then you're not going to win it. The same way we have seen Damatore playing. So Newcastle, the only player I like there is Bruno Guimarães because he gives that Tony Rudiger vibes. Those times when Tony used to play for Chelsea and also the likes of Ramos. You know, those players who are very rude.
Unapenda toa kiburi. So you like Benny White and MLS?
No, I don't even support any player who come from Arsenal. That is not a team to support.
I mentioned Arsenal, so Alex.
So for me, I think I will disagree with the panelists a bit. For me, I will keep the big 6, the big 6 for this season. But if next season they continue the way they are, and start from there on, I have to drop Manchester United. I can't even consider them in the big 6 if they don't wake up next season. I will consider them in the small 6. Uko na kina the likes of Plymouth, Ipswich. Brighton is big. So I will consider them na West Ham uko.
Wolves,
bottom 6. So, but for the sole purposes of because I am yet to see Unai Emery let's say get European football in consecutive seasons. I'm yet to see Brighton keep up with with getting European football consecutively. The same for Newcastle, but
same for Nottingham.
Yeah, same for Nottingham. So I have to see them do it consistently for me to consider them a big team. So for that reason only, I will keep the big 6. Even though United is going to be knocked out of the Europa League this week, and they will finish trophyless like our neighbors there in London.
Wow.
Yep. So Alex, you raised a question and said that is Mohamed Salah a contender for the Ballon d'Or? Yeah. I think as of now, there's no other player. I know Boboni is a huge Real Madrid fan, and he wanted his boy Vinicius Junior. I don't think Vinicius
not
Junior
this season though.
Is not in the conversation. So it's Mohamed Salah. I think he's the only one that is in the conversation as of the moment. Even Mbappe is not really there. So Boni, unasemaje? Unakubali na hii maneno?
Well, when it comes to the Ballon d'Or, these are journalists who vote for this award.
Yeah.
So of course, those are the international journalists who are are being sponsored to go and vote for this. But as you can see, the statistics, as they say, in the UEFA Champions, in the Premier League, Salah, of course, in the across all the leagues, he is one of the best players that we have, creating
True.
chances, scoring goals, and also when it comes to individual play, then he is making sure that Liverpool they are performing. He can be given the Ballon d'Or, but again, there will be a stiff competition. You go to the Spanish La Liga there is that Brazil guy. He is scoring goals any day, and the goal aggregates of the Rafinha they are so close to winning the Ballon d'Or. So I think Salah he will be having that competition from Rafinha. Those Barcelona players, the likes of Robert Lewandowski, they are top players, and I think they can clinch that trophy. But we wish him of the best. But when it comes to African players, we know there's a lot of discrimination. You know, they say Africa we cannot produce one of the best players. That's why over the week we saw the comments from Galatasaray and how Didier Drogba responded to them. They are so rude, by the way. I also saw what the response from the former Chelsea midfielder John Obi Mikel when they were having those conversations, and he was saying that Africa is the mother of all talents, the engine of the talents. If we don't have African players, then in those European leagues, then we cannot give the best. When you go to the Bundesliga, Germany, there you go to Spanish La Liga, we go to Premier League. Yesterday we saw Kevin Bassey, one of the Nigerian defenders who produced one of the best, and he also scored against Man United. He's an engine of the Nigerian team, so he scored. So I think Africa we are so neglected, but we give the best when it comes to those competitions. Or if he wins, then that is a win for Africa. I don't think whether they can vote for Salah. If there is a time that Salah could have won is when they aired Sadio Mane when they were winning the UEFA Champions League. That is in 2018. At the time, those two guys were lethal. But again, the competition was tough. Anyway, Salah, we wish him the best, but the competition from the Spanish La Liga is still tough. We have some guys there who are scoring goals and making sure that their team perform. Anyway, that is all about Ballon d'Or. But we saw the other time that was a theft for Vinicius Junior. What do you think that Rodri deserved
I
that
was gonna
door?
actually comment on that because the argument based on that is the fact that they gave it to Rodri because he won a treble. That was the excuse they were giving. But yeah, any football fans, we thought like Vinicius was robbed. We thought so, honestly.
Can I interject on that, Curtis?
Mm.
Okay, so first of all, the treble wasn't won last season; it was on the
The
previous season.
previous, but yeah,
Yes, so and then the format in which the journalists use in choosing the Ballon d'Or winner are changed from I think the past two seasons. They look at the calendar year, and the calendar year consists of how you have performed in the league and the international football.
international
So
football, yeah,
for the club football, Vinicius Junior edges it above Rodri, but for the international level,
international.
he was nowhere in the Copa America. How many goals did Vini score in the Copa? But if
Yep,
we
yep.
check for the Euro, Rodri was
And he
instrumental
won it,
in
yeah.
Spain
So
winning
yeah,
it. So if we are to wage the two of them, Rodri edges it a little bit. So that's why he got the Ballon d'Or. And I also wanted Vini to win because we are blacks, tunapenda support our own. But if we are to be objective, hiyo ni Rodri.
Yeah, but also remember there was fair play as well. We all know Vinicius Junior.
Yeah.
Most of the time, he comes and agitates people, and yeah, I think his character. That's how I view him. It's more expressive, and he incite the opposition. That's what that is what I've been seeing. It's not because I'm a Barcelona supporter. It's it's because I see how he plays. Okay, he plays nice football. That we can't argue about. But also remember the Ballon d'Or, they introduced fair play as well. So for him, I think that outdid him. He should be a bit.
So I have a question then,
Mhm.
and that's to Alex. So basically, like some of us, we've already agreed that Mohamed Salah at the end of the season deserves it, right? So we hope he wins it, right? But then there hasn't been much international football going on for Mohamed Salah so far. This, you know, so if his numbers are just gonna be based on Champions League and Premier League, and then supposing they end up not winning Champions League, do you guys still think he qualifies for it?
So, Kelong, will you answer first or I go first?
Let me go first quickly. I think
Okay.
yeah, because uh, even in Europe, last season they played the Euros and it was considered for the last season winner. So I don't think him not having any competition in the uh, international stage would limit his competition. And also, when you just analyze, there's no other player who really is that good for his team. Like in Barcelona, um, of course we have Rafinha scoring, but he's not the main man. Rafinha can
It's
score,
Lamine.
Yamal can score,
Mm-hmm.
Lewandowski can score, so he's not the main man as compared to Salah. Salah is involved in everything Liverpool do, especially in the attack. He scores, he
Mm-hmm.
assists game after game. So for that reason, I think Salah will still edge out.
Okay,
Like,
so
Mohamed
Curtis,
Salah. Yes.
I think Curtis, you have asked three questions at the same time. So nashinda venye nitazijibu zote. We'll phrase one by one.
okay. I phrase one by one.
It's like you've asked three questions
Oh,
at once.
the first question I asked was like, it was based on the reply you gave me how Rodri won, or what kind of technique they follow to determine the winner. So I was asking, like, since so far, like Mohamed Salah this season hasn't been involved in international football, at the end of the season, do you think he will still edge it, or he will still win it? And then what if they don't win Champions League? Will he still qualify for to be in the list?
Okay, so first of all, uh, Mohamed Salah failing to do any international football will hinder his chances. If you have seen
Chances.
recently,
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Carragher alinalify AFCON as a major tournament. Amesema hii AFCON ni aina tofauti na Sekafa. Okay,
Yeah.
but anyway,
And what?
so by him not participating in international football will hinder his chances. But in a calendar year, Cotis, there cannot
Mm,
fail to be international football. It will always be. But for this time in 2025, I don't think there's any major tournament. Kelong, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's any AFCON, there's any Euro, there's any Confederation. I don't think there's any. So it will just be
mm.
some friendlies. I think even here in March we have an international break. So if there is no major tournament, they won't wage so much on international plus club football. But if there was a big tournament like, let's say, AFCON, then it would be in the picture.
A boost. It would be a boost for him, for his
Yes,
numbers.
yes. But again, one thing that I've noticed is if you're not Messi, then no matter how good you play, if you don't get the Champions League, your chances of winning
Yes,
the,
a low.
the Ballon d'Or are very low. And also, we adding the fact of by you being an African, it's like they don't believe an African can clinch that prestigious individual award. So that's why Salah has to work twice or thrice as hard for him to be able to be in contention. Because even if you can find, let's say, Lewandowski, the Barcelona can, let's say, reach the semi-final, and let's say Liverpool lose maybe in the final, then they can choose to give Lewandowski because they don't like seeing Africans winning those titles, and they don't believe Africans can win.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Bonnie, what do you
Yes.
think? The question. What's your answer?
I agree with what Alex said. If you're not featured in the UEFA Champions League, then chances of you clinching the Ballon d'Or then are very rare. Yeah, but Salah, if he wins, then that is a big win for Africa because we are not even close to that Ballon d'Or. But there is a time that I thought that Sadio Mane could win it, but he went to those German side. He went to Saudi Arabia. I really don't understand. But anyway, they are getting money to support their poor families in the Senegal. I also feel bad
Wow.
that Chelsea allowed the one of the holy goalkeeper Eduardo
Ngolo
Mendy to
Kante,
go.
even there. See, even Kante is there.
You know, Kante is the master, and he achieved everything of there when he was
At
playing in the
Chelsea.
Premier League.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Chelsea
won everything.
fans, the likes of Kelong, they can tell you more about Kante.
Kante is a legend.
Kante is a
He's a
legend. Yeah, he's won.
legend. He's a
Yes,
legend, man.
yeah, he's won the
Who is
World
Kante?
Cup.
Ngolo Kante.
Yeah.
Kante,
The
what
best
has he
CDM in the
achieved?
Premier League ever. The best CDM
Yeah,
in the Premier
he's
League ever.
he's won
He's
the Premier League.
Makelele 2.0.
The
The
guy with
But you
zero
have Katonga,
haters.
Bana.
Katonga.
The guy with zero haters. But now na Bonnie nikanta kumchukia. Na wewe ni Chelsea fan, nataka kuchukia mtu wako.
Who said that I'm a Chelsea fan here?
It don't
I am a
matter.
Kariobangi Sharks supporter.
It's written on your face.
So, what about the Man City downfall?
It's not
Curtis,
happiness. Huh? Sorry.
what do you think about Man City downfall?
They deserve it. Not all of them though. I don't know. I feel bad for Pep as a coach. But I feel like Man City deserves it as a team or as an establishment. But but I feel sorry for Pep Guardiola because he's such a great coach. Like really, like he's great. But again, people discredit him. I have a question. Is it true, like how they say that maybe he's not as great without the money? Is that true? Is that what people think? People think the money is what is making him, or is he good tactically?
I think both, because historically speaking, he's coached the big clubs like Barcelona. He found Messi in his prime, together with Xavi, Iniesta. The La Masia boys were on their prime and were doing well. So you can argue there it was pure talent that made him win all because he won a treble and La Liga titles. In Bayern, of course, is a big team, and he won the Bundesliga. Then he came to Man City. So Man City now he was given money to do whatever he wants. So you can argue and say he's talented, yes, one of the best coach in the world. But money has been a factor as well because without him building Man City or getting the players that he wanted, he couldn't have performed because remember, if he found an existing squad, but by year 3, the whole squad was purged and he had whatever he wanted. So there's two sides about that.
Yeah, so that's personally, I'm saying I'm happy they're falling, but I feel bad for the coach. But yeah, we continue. Next one. I don't have explanation for it. I don't even. I'm just
Yeah,
happy
Well,
it's happening.
Curtis, they are saying that Man City is failing because of that Ballon d'Or they chose. They got it from
no, no,
Vinicius Junior.
no, no. So
Yeah,
that's an
that's a
overreach.
That was a
misconception.
debt.
No, no,
That's
no,
a
no, no,
misconception.
no, no. By the way, Man City, I think they had made the EPL to be a farmers league, so
Yeah.
everyone is happy of their downfall. But remember, uh, after losing the engine of the team, which is Rodri, then the Rain started beating them there because they didn't have somebody suitable to replace what.
Well,
Uh,
Arsenal is still number 2. They didn't have Odegaard for the 4 months.
yeah, but Rodri plays a huge role in the Pep's system, so that's why I think also that could be a factor. So Bonnie, I'm saying Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or is not is not a revenge, or is not karma playing out.
Alex, unasemaje?
For me, Bonnie, I believe for Man City, the same way Eric Ten Hag said, all eras come to an end. So the bad thing with his is it came earlier. So I believe Pep's era is slowly coming to an end, despite him extending his contract. I think Pep and a force, and but he has to accept that his legacy is slowly coming to an end at Man City. And to answer on the Cortez question, I believe it's both. I will agree with Kelong. No matter how good Pep is, the money makes it better for him, because if tuwezi sema tu ni pesa, because if it was just about spending money, Todd Boehly has spent a billion, and he's yet to even win one trophy. No. So, and for Pep to dominate 6 Premier League titles, you can't win 6 Premier League titles if you're not good tactically. So I believe he's talented, but the money has made it better. Though I will respect Jose Mourinho more than him, because Jose went out of the way to coach clubs like Spurs, to go and coach clubs like Galatasaray, Fenerbahce.
Manchester United, I finished Manchester
Yes,
United.
yes, even Manchester United and the likes of AS Roma, and he also won AS Roma trophy, knowing the
Yeah.
fact that AS Roma hadn't won a trophy in the longest time ever. So I will respect Jose Mourinho for going there and breaking the curse. Even at Spurs, he could have won a trophy, but the bad
Sure.
thing is when they had a Carabao final, they sacked him. So how can you sack Jose before a final, and you know very well Jose is the guy for the trophies?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
so that's one thing which I will respect Jose for, him going out of his way to coach even small clubs and getting to win, because I don't think Pep can accept a club if it's not big, because I think anajua if he goes even and gets a club like Brighton, itamwaribia CV. Eh,
Also,
Yeah,
you're
always.
basically saying that he's not a risk taker.
yeah, he cannot risk, anataka kuwa tu na hiyo prestige, having coached the big clubs and spending money, and him having
And
been
winning
able
trophies.
to win those trophies in the big clubs. If Pep is really as good as he says he is, I want him to go and get a club like Roma and clinch a title, or even go to Marseille or Napoli. Like the
Go
way
to championship and bring up someone and bring a team to
championship is too
PR.
much. Championship, I think it's too much. I
Mbona
want him
mnaenda
to even
mbali?
do
Let
like
him go to
Conte.
Manchester United.
Huko ifike long in United huko, hata ukicombine Ferguson na Guardiola, they still will not win time. A team that's on its deathbed.
No. Now you guys were
Yeah.
saying it's the players. Like seriously, some of the, I don't know if there's a Manu fan in here, but you guys were saying it's the players. But have you guys seen how Rashford is actually doing way better at Aston Villa now?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's those
even
players.
Anthony has
Even
Yeah.
gone to Real
So
Betis and he has
it's
become
not the
prime
players.
Ronaldo. Anthony ameingia Betis amekuwa prime Cristiano. Imagine
Yeah.
somebody who has been sitting in the bench for 3 to 4 months goes to Real Betis. He has more goal contributions than the likes of Joshua Zirkzee and
Yeah.
Rasmus Højlund. Imagine.
From
And
So
Manu
that's story.
fans are
Yeah.
very, I don't know. Manu fans are also the problem to their own players. Unajua wanapenda
You know what Curtis, fans wa Man U ni wanoma hata kushinda hiyo timu yao.
Hey,
Jana Manu
poleni.
ilipigwa na Fulham ikaondolewa kwa FA, by the way.
I called that by
Yeah.
the way. I predicted that. I was telling my nephew, "Nyi mnatolewa nyama."
Yeah,
And
it
he's
was
like, "No."
expected. Fulham or the big dogs, Manchester United or the underdogs, and
So
of course,
Mnakumbuka Fulham mkiitwa Arsenal 2.0.
What do you think happened there, Curtis? What do you think happened when Fulham was playing against Man United?
I didn't watch the game actually. I watched really watched 2 highlights because I was at work.
Yeah, I watched the game personally.
But I was, yeah.
I said I watched the game and it was interesting because yes, Manchester United had a couple of chances, but it was scrappy from them. Their forwards, Zaxi, Granacho, they're average players, and yeah, that's what you expect from average players. Then yeah, actually, Fulham could have won the game earlier. They cave in at the last minute and they failed to score. That's why it went all the way to the penalties. Then the huge fraudster Onana can't save a penalty. He's the worst person to have on the goal. and I knew, and I actually tweeted out that Onana, there's no way he can save a penalty. It's because Bernard Leno is way better. He saved 2 penalties actually from Lindelof and Zaxi. So that's why Manchester United are out of the FA Cup. Poor display from them. And also, I think Amorim, I am predicting he shouldn't he wouldn't be there next season because Manchester United are in bigger trouble than what he thought they were in.
You think he's gonna resign or they'll fire him?
He'll resign same way somebody like, yeah, I think he'll just resign. I think he got into a project without knowing the repercussions.
Who will save Man United?
Who will save Chelsea?
Chelsea is on the right
Because
track.
how do you how do you have players almost have a stadium but can't even stay? But I like what they're doing in the conference league. Yani mnatandika watu.
Yeah, but Chelsea is just a few more things to be done, and they're good to go. It's not they don't need a whole revamp like Manchester United. Chelsea, of course, they've spent a lot of money, but as you can see, we're trying to get players with minimal contracts, not the huge contracts like before. So it will be sustainable in a few years. I think the only problem is that Chelsea we were spoiled kids by the Roman Abramovich era, where we just go for winners, and now we're becoming too impatient in waiting for the team to fully develop in order to compete.
Okay.
Yep.
Alex, who do you think is going to save Man United?
As I said, Bonnie, made a joke hapa na Kilong tukasema hata wakishikanisha Alex Ferguson na Pep, United still have a long way to go. First of all, Bonnie, let us check the structure of the team. Last season tumeona mvua ilikuwa inanyesha, rooftop inafikia fans. Ama ninadanganya Kilong, ama line?
That's true. Mm-hmm.
So first of all, Bonnie, they need to fix the roof. We start with the structure, they fix the roof. Then we go down to the management. I believe, Bonnie, that management has been there for so long and they have spent a lot of, let me not say they have misspent money, and they're doing the same thing season in, season out, and it's not making any changes. So I believe they need maybe a Saudi takeover for them to now restructure and see what they can do. And after that, Bonnie, they need to now spend money on the good players, and they also need to look at the academy to try and bring more players. First of all, Bonnie, United don't have a goalkeeper. Onana is a number 2. He's not. I think even the Buindir, if they had placed the second goalkeeper yesterday,
a midfielder.
Yes, I think he's called Altai Buindir. I believe he could have saved penalties, and like
Onana. He's way better. Mm-hmm. So
Yes, he
better
could
than
have saved
penalties.
penalty. So I believe they need a goalkeeper, and they don't have a left back. That dog guy, he's so unprofessional. Let me not say he's not even qualified to play in the league.
Proud star.
So yeah, so they need a left back. Mazraoui is okay. I believe that the center back partnership is just one which is made up of expensive players who are not competent, and they need a midfield. Casemiro miguu zimechoka, so he needs to go back to Brazil or Saudi. So and Ugarte is yet to develop, so they need a figure there deep in the six to come a Rodri. So I
What
prefer
happened to Garnacho?
they can go and get a Zubimendi, and they add two more midfielders because but I believe Bruno is okay. Bruno is good. So and on the wings, I believe Ganacho bado akona he's still yet to mature as a footballer because I see him making a very bad decision there in the forward, and then they need to sell two of their strikers, Zakzi and Rasmus Hoyland. They need to sell those two people because how comes Mark Hukurea is a left back and he has more goal contributions than them? How and left back has more goal contributions than two strikers? First of all, Zakzi cannot run. Zakzi hawezi kimbia. He's good at dribbling, but he cannot run. Hoyland cannot score.
And Ahmad,
So you see, Ahmad is good, but if you check United games, Cotis, you'll notice Ahmad is never that present. He just pops up with goals. Go and watch United
so
games. Ahmad does
yeah,
not.
sometimes he's like the super sub. Yeah, they may replace McTominay.
So, but the bad thing I have with Ahmad is he gets lost most of the times in the game, then just pops up with goals. You need somebody who is participating. You see, Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandes can even play as a defender and as a Ngiata center back just to die for the team. Ahmad, I only see him popping up with goals, then he gets lost in the game. So I believe
That's Cole
United.
Palmer of Chelsea, but Chelsea fans are not ready for that conversation.
So I believe United need another takeover. They need to sell like 8 of their 11 players for them to go and again sign new players. Then they have to accept that it will take them like 3 to 4 years to restructure so that they see whether they can come back. So au naona hata nini wache yenye Wakenya wanangojea 2027 election au nadhani wangoje 2032.
5 years
Eh,
from now, maybe mtoto wa
eh,
Rooney atakuwa ameingia ligi.
eh. So that's what I can say.
Okay.
That is Man United. My own point of view is that Amorim could not have left his Sporting CP. He could have stayed there
Mm.
because the task
Yeah, that's true.
at Man United is very heavy. It has really spoiled his career.
And he's
He's a
still
good
40.
coach,
Mhm.
and I really don't think whether the problem in Man United is the players or the coach. I
It's
think
not
they
the
are cast
players.
team. They just let them drop to the championship. Let Man United,
Washikane na
let Arsenal
Tottenham
drop to the
tafadhali.
championship. Those two teams are cast.
Tafadhali Tottenham. Na hiyo Manu
No. I'm
wafuatane.
just being frank here. Arsenal, Man United, let them drop
Sawa.
to the
Okay, Arsenal
championship.
imekufanyia nini?
No, because how can you be bottling the league from 2003?
Excuse me. Ay, sure. When if one more foot, I mean, what team? I mean, what game gani? This season, at what point has Arsenal been top?
No, we have seen
but
last season, the last three
No.
seasons.
Chill. No. This is the third time actually. If we're talking about coming close, the first one was 23, 22, right? And then 23, 24. Yeah, this year though, Nukuliza, at what point? This season, at what point was Arsenal top?
no, but
No,
you
not
What
you
is
top.
you?
Because
you
if
are
What
Man
just
is?
City
getting
now, Man City are
you,
flopping, and you have been
you are in the retrospect.
running
But
against Man
but they're
City.
consistent though, as you can see, even though they are.
Consistent for nothing. I think they should
What do
drop,
you
then they get that energy. I'm just being real here.
You
Consistent
see?
see,
for what?
Cotis,
Eh,
this
eh,
is supposed to be the season for you guys to win it
for
because
yes,
Yes.
we were. That part
Guardiola's been
sikatai,
ensuring.
but sikatai, like as you can see, there's some unforeseen circumstances hufanyika. Like now you see, like our talisman, Aliumia, man, both of them, the best that we had last season when we were performing well. ilikuwa nani? Si ilikuwa the top 3, Odegaard, Saka na Martinelli. Of which at the beginning of
last
this
season
season...
Martinelli was MIA.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
alikuwa anasaidia too in terms of play. He wasn't scoring, but
yeah,
unaona
but
he was
big,
tiring the opposition out, and then Trossard anaingia kama super sub. You get, like, he was doing his part too in a different way, but not the conventional way. But as you can see, the people were counting on last season, this season, they were not even there. So magic happened. How do we get the numbers of the goals when we don't even have our best players
yeah,
available?
a big team doesn't depend on individual
On
players.
there.
Like we see Man City. Let's take the classic example. Kevin De Bruyne has been the best player for a long time, but there was a season he played like twice or thrice, and they still won the league. So that's not
But
an
as you can see, he went out and bought more. Like, he had reinforcements.
Okay, yeah. So my
we didn't have that.
Yeah. So that problem lies on Arsenal management. They don't have
board,
don't have a contingency plan, because you can't expect your players to be 100% the whole season. Yeah. So
yes,
it's
And then
it's
Kelong.
it's the Arsenal way. Yeah.
even
Hello,
if they're
I think-
fit, hata kama
Mediocre
wako fit
at
and
best.
they don't have...
Mediocre at best.
Kelong.
Yep.
I think Kelong, you are too lenient on Arsenal. You see, for the past 3 seasons, Chelsea has had injuries. Last season, I was watching. There's a time I was watching Sky Sports News, and I
Yeah,
saw
11
Chelsea had 42 injuries. 42
Yeah.
injuries the whole season, and people
Mhm.
were saying, no excuses, no excuses. You guys have spent $1 billion. So,
Yeah.
and when Pochettino was complaining injuries, they said it's an excuse. But when Arsenal complain injuries, then now it's fine. So why
The
are you
difference
giving them
being
easy?
the number of players. This Chelsea Chelsea plays on just a stadium. Like,
But
when
you see,
the
you see,
squad they're
coaches,
Chelsea. So for them to even have 42 injuries, that's like almost the entire squad amount in Arsenal talk on now. So
but you see, coaches, as much as Chelsea has so many players, the coach is only working with, I think, 23 or 24. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kelong. Many
Yeah, that's
players
true.
are sent out to loans and loans. So the coach is only working with, let's say, 22 or 23. That's why you see when Romeo Lavia goes
can
out on
just say-
injury, hakuna replacement ya Lavia.
Yeah.
I can
true.
just say that the management messed up Arsenal this season, because there's no way you can loan out players or sell players and not replace them. Like people like ESR, to come Nelson, like, why did they even get rid of them when they were helping before? Like me, I was just gutted that they sold ESR though, and even hata kama Nketi yako anafunga, you see the domestic cups is really good with those. Like competitions in the domestic. I feel like if we had Nketi hatungetolewa Carabao. Aki. Hata hatungetolewa hiyo FA. But you can
FA.
see
So
ameenda
you are crying here. So I think I've just given my submission that Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United, they should be dropped from the Premier League. Go to the
Hell
Championship.
no.
They build
Even
their
Chelsea.
team. Yes. What are they doing over there?
Chelsea has won the Champions League three
We're
years
still
ago.
in the Champions League anyway, so chill. Let's see.
So in the
Yeah, so-
Championship, those teams going to play against Middlesbrough, play against Stoke City, play against Millwall, because
United.
those teams, they are just give another chances for Burnley, of course, and those teams that are down there. Arsenal, they are doing nothing. Chelsea, they are doing nothing.
Arsenal,
Coventry, Frank Lampard is doing a good job over there.
Arsenal is
And-
entertaining you.
I don't think. Why are you supporting Arsenal here? Why are you supporting Chelsea here? Those two teams, they are doing nothing in the Premier League. Man United, nothing.
Yeah, but of course you have to when you judge a club, you judge them for the past 5 years. So Chelsea is unfair to put us in the same bracket as Arsenal and Manchester United, because at least in the last 5 years we have the Champions League, so we're not in the same conversation. So give us time. We will win the Premier League next season. We are ready. We are ready to compete.
Curtis, do you agree your team to be dropped to the Championship?
Hell no. What? That's very disrespectful of you anyway.
No. We're just being real here.
No. teams that deserve to go to championship is Tottenham and Man U, because they are giving teams like, is it top but bottom teams? They're giving them a chance to shine, and it's it's not looking good on Big Six. There's no competition no more as it used to be. Like say anyone can just come and beat Big Six team. Na hiyo ni madhara yenye Man U imeleta na Chelsea. But why are they allowing
Well, see,
championship teams to
Arsenal is settled for goalless draw against Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest
Yeah.
is not Nottingham Forest and Arsenal are actually like way back rivals kitambo, so yeah, heri draw kuliko kupigwa 4-1 na timu yenye hata ilipromotiwa juzi. So
Yep.
But anyway,
So
of course, if you're following us here for the first time, remember this is a post-match analysis. We're discussing about the Premier League and also teams here. They are being defeated by their loyal fans. Personally, my Swansea is not in the Premier League, though, so I am on the safe side. Anyway,
he's just trying not
I
to
know
cry.
we have been having yes.
No, I'm saying he's putting on a mask. He's not trying to reveal his team because attacking kulia.
So, what do you think as we on the final touches, Curtis? Who do you think is the best coach up to now in the Premier League, and why?
Underdog coaches are doing so good this season, so hata ni ngumu kuchagua. I would say wa Bournemouth. I would say
Do you
Bournemouth
see
coach.
Bournemouth coach because he won against Arsenal, Man United, and Chelsea?
He did so good.
Wait, Bonnie didn't win against Chelsea. Drew 2-2.
yeah, be clear with your facts, Mr. Bonnie.
Anyway, but even if you look at head-to-head Chelsea versus Bournemouth, Bournemouth is always the only underdog in Chapanga Chelsea by. But yeah, I would say him. He's done a great job. Like when they were starting, they started off really bad, but during the festive season, like period, he picked up. And I think they went like almost 10 games unbeaten. Was it 8 or 10? I think. I can't
11.
remember the exact 11, yeah, 11 games unbeaten. So and he didn't even have as much as the big six coaches do have. So he used what he got and he transformed his players and they so I think him. I would say him.
Yes, Kilong.
For mine, I think it's Nuno Espirito Santo,
Espirito.
the coach for Nottingham Forest. I think he cracked on how to play the Premier League. You get players that are physically suited for the Premier League and defend well and counter attack. That's what has won teams the title. Like remember how Mourinho used to set up Chelsea. Remember how Conte used to set up Chelsea as well. So that is the blueprint of winning titles. So I think Nottingham Forest in the third position is a good I'd say position for them, and it's a good trajectory in a whole. So Nuno Espirito Santo for me.
Alex.
I like the analysis from Kelong and Cotis about the best managers in the league. I believe I want to second what you said, Kelong. Nuno Espirito has done tremendous work at Nottingham Forest, and it's commendable. And also, like for the coach of Bournemouth, I've forgotten his name. He has done good job. But I believe the best coach has to be Arne Slot. I believe coming into a league as a new manager, and he also came in as an underdog. No one expected him to do the work he has done, even though I feel like this season it has been quite easy for him. But I have to give him his flowers because it's not easy to come in the Premier League for the first season and do the things he has done. He has walked into Etihad and he has picked 3 points, and he has smashed Man City, and he dominated them by just using counter-attack football. So I believe that has to be, we have to give him his flowers. So I'll give it to Arne Slot, the best manager, though I believe guys like Nuno Espirito and the coach for Bournemouth are coming up well. I also believe David Moyes is doing good job at Everton. I
Yeah.
believe
Pickford.
he,
Pickford is not doing the job.
yes. So so I believe even Moyes is doing well. We have to give him his
Oh
flowers,
God.
and I also think somebody like Graham Potter. Graham Potter can do well at West Ham. So there are some good managers. Thank you.
Yes, from my
And
own
you?
point of view, when you ask me who is the best manager up to now, I would say no one. No one has really proved to be the best manager. Every manager there, they are bubbling. So we don't have the best manager. We have not seen the best manager who can be predicted. So I have not seen a manager not until I get to be proven wrong. There's no manager who
Okay.
has done a good job.
Acha kupatia Southampton if you'll help them survive. Juu unakaa ni
No,
kama
I'm just
unajua
being real. Hakuna manager ameonyesha kama kuna uwezo wa kuwa the best manager of the season. Ni nani? Mna just kuguess
Slot.
tu.
Slot.
But anyway,
Slot
I
amekuja
agree
kumpata
with
kikosi hapo
Alex.
ya Jurgen Klopp. Amepata akina
I,
Salah,
I,
akina
I
Trent
agree with
pale, akina
Alex in the
Tsimikas,
sense
amekuja pale
that
apata.
Go
and
continue.
I was saying I agree with Alex when he's saying that like this season is really like it's one of the most boring ones, to be honest. It is. There's no competition. Like Liverpool has it so easy.
Yeah.
The way
Okay.
like
You can look at it as well in a different perspective. The competition starts right there from number 3 to number 10. There's a
then
huge
because the
competition there.
difference in 5 points, I'm only 4. I think.
Yeah, yeah. You can easily be number 10 if you sleep.
So yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like the relegation battle will be more interesting than the league battle. So
Sema tu from number
and
15.
Champions.
From number 15 kurudi nyuma. 15 Pro Max.
Yeah, it seems like they will have more fun, like trying to stay afloat compared to who is trying to win the league. And now maybe those spots are like the spots for who goes for Champions League, who goes to Europa, and
Who
the
goes to
slots.
the championship?
Yes. So I think that's more interesting than the actual title itself. Title at this point, it's
Title is gone. That's for sure.
gone, yeah.
Mm.
Unless a miracle
Yes,
happens, which we don't know.
yes. You come to the end of the post-match analysis. Alex, what is your parting shots?
Oh, thank you for hosting us for Dimba. It's been long. I hope we can do this more often. Every Monday, we try to be a bit consistent, and we try to grow the community. And if anyone who is watching, thank you so much. Auto subscriber freak, we grow the community and football forever. Thank you for the panelists today. Muwe na wiki njema ya mafanikio. Mola awe nanyi.
Thank you.
Drake Long.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a great show. Awesome panelists, and for our viewers who are tuning in, I think you've had a nice show. We also have the UCL coming up tomorrow. Interesting
Oh, yeah.
games. And it will be an exciting week for football. So, looking forward to interesting games. So, thank you everyone, and have a nice week ahead.
Yes, Curtis, you give us your parting shots, and we say thank you for coming.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys for actually welcoming me and inviting me and to be part of this amazing show. I hope we'll be able to grow it and we'll be able to meet more people and more fans as we go. Like, there should be more than 4 people on the screen. We need more. Like, let's try and bring more people on here, And for everyone that is that tuned in and is watching us right now, we appreciate your support and being here with us. Thank you and have a good week, guys.
See y'all soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, my guys, my guests, Zeki Long, Kutis, and Oganga, of course, for tuning in into this show. We still be having these shows every Mondays at 10 p.m. East African time. And we look forward for having a productive week. We having UEFA Champions League, we having Europa League, and also this is the round of 16. We wish the English side all the best. Of course, teams are playing over there. But most important, Harambee Stars every coach to perform because our country comes first more than those European countries. We meet here same place, same time. Thank you for watching Dimbal Afrique Monday edition.